Okay.
Hey, welcome to another episode of the Blackout Test podcast. I am your host, Rod, joined as always by my co-host,
Karen.
and we are live on a Wednesday, which means we're recapping on a Wednesday, and we're recapping House of the Dragon on HBO. Everybody's favorite, them thrones, them dragons, Game of Thrones, whatever you call it. Everybody's favorite day of the week. We got a lot of people in the chat room tonight. You love to see it. This episode. Oh wait, first of all, this show, the official weapon is
The taser.
an unofficial sport,
Bullet ball.
a bullet ball extreme. And this show is episode 8. It's called The Lord of the Tides. And of course, you guys know I got to do it. We've done it. We're going to do it every episode. Feedback rules. We don't mind feedback. Okay. I mean, you could keep it a little shorter if we're being honest, but we don't mind your feedback. We like your feedback. That's cool.
We do.
All we ask is you leave it after hearing the review, the recap. Don't leave it before. That's just about you. That's not about us at all. And then no predictions, no prophecies, no, the book said we don't do that. We only go straight by the show, and we like the guests, and sometimes we're gonna be wrong and sometimes we're gonna be right, but it's more fun for us and the audience that way if you go by those rules. That's all we're asking. Contact info is right in the show notes for those who want to participate. And of course, the YouTube people leave comments there and stuff too. All right, now we can get started. Karen, this episode, The Lord of the Tides was the title. 8 of these bad boys. We only got 2 left.
That's all.
Yeah.
This isn't good. It's going by very fast.
Hasn't it?
I don't know why I feel like it's so.
I don't know what. Yeah, like whenever.
And I think it's the time jumping for the fact that they moving quickly. Because I think with the other version of Game of Thrones, they felt like they moved quickly too. But it was like particularly the first season was like a longer storytelling. So they told would have told like this same story that we're seeing right now, but instead of what they're condensing in one season, this might have been a season and a half or 2.
Yeah, it does feel that way.
So it feels like they're moving quicker.
But it also somehow feels like there's less episodes than there are, which is crazy.
Yes.
It's like they're having it both ways, but I'm liking it. So
Me
anyway,
too.
Oh yeah, let me play the fucking the song, right? I mean, come on, we gotta do the song. All right, not too much. Don't want to get demonetized, but yes. Karen, what were your general thoughts about episode 8, Lord of the Tides?
This actually was a great episode. It's kind of ranks really, really high among like the episodes I've seen so far. And I think that with everything that happened, the next episode I think is gonna be even better. But I think that this episode was really, really good. I enjoyed it. The mess was there. It's like everything just trumped up.
My main thought is this: give Patty Considine the motherfucking Emmy today.
Oh, the dude that played
Viserys, yes.
He
just
deserves.
Go ahead. It's his. No offense to anybody else.
No offense.
It's over. Like it's just
that nigga acted.
This is how I felt when I watched rest in peace to the Utah Jazz. This is how I felt when I was in Joe's Crab Shack and watched the Bulls beat the Jazz with Michael Jordan having the flu game. And the white people was livid in there.
Yep, and me and Roger was having a ball.
The black people was all making smiles at each other,
cheering and rooting. Yes, we was. I remember that. And
contrary,
we were pointing out each other. We were
contrary
partying.
to popular belief, guys. Not everybody loved Michael Jordan coming up, but we did, and it was so. And that's how I felt. Was this nigga Patty Considine had the acting version of the flu game. He put the whole thrones on his motherfucking back and was like, don't worry, I got y'all this episode. And goddamn if he didn't have us. Okay, that's a man right there. He delivered. acting. Okay, you love to see it. Black acting school.
Come on, black
in
acting
full
school.
effect. Okay. All right, now we can get into it. It's long. This episode is like the longest one I think they've done. It's an hour and 14 minutes.
Ooh, that's really long.
Yeah, I will try to speed through some of it, but I don't even know how we can do this in
and give it
in a
justice,
short period of time.
right.
But we'll try. So we start at 2 different locations before we get to King's Landing. The first one is Driftmark. Driftmark, of course, is House Valerian, the black people, the ones with the ships and the dragons. Okay, so Rhaenys is sitting in the throne. And the first thing we find out, it's been 6 years since the last time she saw Corlys, so we got a 6-year time jump. And they just keep moving.
They was like, we ain't got no time for no games. They was like, speed this shit up.
And it's a dude named Maester Kelvin with a Y, because nigga names. Maester Kelvin is talking about Corlys, who he's like, girl,
it's been a hot minute.
So I don't know if you got the injury report, but your husband got hurt last game. That apparently in the last 6 years, the Trarchy done came back. We got a war going on again, and
they kept wanting. They kept saying they was coming back.
Corlys, the sea snake, he been out there on the front lines. He thought he saw like an abandoned ship. He led his crew on his ship to the abandoned ship. Turns out it's a motherfucking ambush. They done caught your boy slipping, hit him up in the neck. He's bleeding bad, fell into the water. They saved him from the water, but he got the fucking water, the fever. And the fever, they saying that might kill him. Like he lost a lot of blood, but the fucking fever so bad that might kill him. They got ravens from Evenfall saying he gonna be there in 3 days with his ship. And Rhaenys is, basically like, damn, like what happens if my husband doesn't survive this? And what happens to his throne? Because the succession is supposed to go to Luke.
Right. And I don't know if they actually ever made okay, it's supposed to go to Luke. And I don't know if he even announced that or
they did.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what the last episode was about.
Okay.
The last
announced the succession.
Yeah, 2 episodes ago. That was a lot of that was about, because remember he basically told her, I don't give a fuck if them boys don't have any of my blood. They got my name.
Oh, right.
And if they got my name, they're gonna be on the throne. So that's what he care about.
Right.
Because Luke and Jace, unless they become king of King's Landing, keep the Valerian name.
Right.
Now, if they become kings of King's Landing, they have to take on the Targaryen name. And Corlys clearly said, I don't care about history, doesn't remember blood, it remembers names.
Right.
So we know what kind of shit he on. So this is what he will want, is Corlys. But the other thing that's happened is Rhaenys is taking on Baela as a ward. So Baela is the oldest daughter of Laena and Daemon, the black girl, the black oldest one. She the one that don't like all that princess marrying shit. She like flying dragons and killing people.
Right.
And so she's there as well. So as Rhaenys gets this news, she's like, damn, hopefully he'll be all right, because we obviously don't want to have to start thinking about succession yet. But motherfucking Vaemond comes out of nowhere, and he's like, yeah, he's strong, but I seen the blood fever overcome men half his age. I love my brother, but when his ship gets here, he might be dead. And who will get the throne then?
She's like, basically, these decisions are already determined. The fuck you talking about? Right.
But we remember from last week when he gave a funeral speech,
wanted pure blood.
He was reading Rhaenyra's fucking kids for filth.
Yes, he
was like, listen, these little motherfuckers do not wash their legs. They are white. they not our blood.
I'm not here for it.
And they should
not. Like, they don't use cocoa butter. No.
Yeah, they shouldn't even be on the motherfucking throne. None of this shit. I don't fuck with that at all. And so we know that he's been sitting there the whole time, kind of waiting for this moment so he could be like, I wasn't gonna let this happen, not over my dead body. So Baela is like, well, shit, if anybody want to get the throne, it should go to my grandmama Rhaenys. This is interesting, because Rhaenys has sworn up and fucking down. She don't want no throne. Oh, it's fine. They passed me over. The realm would never accept a woman as a ruler, blah, blah, blah. But it sounds like Driftmark is the same way. They've never had, it doesn't sound like they had a queen before.
Mm-mm.
And now all of a sudden she's like, yeah, maybe I could be queen, at least until Corlys dies, because he ain't dead yet. There's no need to even start the succession shit.
Right. It's one of them things where nobody no death. So in her mind, why would I just give this up and we have no confirmation? We don't know. So the fuck you coming here talking about? And I'm technically still in control until proven otherwise. And you're not even next in line according to what his wishes are.
Right.
So you're just literally trying to come in here and take over.
Yeah, Vaemon was arguing with women so hard. It felt like Stephen A. Smith this episode.
Oh no.
Like it was a lot of "I'll let you talk, let me talk" type of type. You know, it was a lot
Type
of like
vibe.
I go way. Listen, I love that brother Corlys. We go way back. You're like, oh, come on, man.
However,
Yeah,
that nigga's out there on that boat, and we don't know if he's coming back.
when they come to Lucerys and them boys. So then Vaemon was like, man, I'm the blood brother. I should get it, not them bastard white boys. You shouldn't get it. You not a real fucking Valerian. And Rhaenys like, it's been decided already. And Vaemon's like, by a man whose ambition has brought down upon us calamity after calamity. That now he's shitting on his brother who's not dead yet. He's shitting on his own brother.
Yeah,
like
but
now it is like, that's my man. We go way back. However, his ambition has brought down, like he was very shitting on his man.
And he's had a problem with a lot of decisions he's been making because he didn't like the war that him and Daemon went in, because he was out there talking shit when Daemon came and basically one man showed and won the war. He just did not. He's like, every decision he's been making, he's literally been questioning it the whole time.
He didn't like Daemon. He was ready to quit on his ass too. So then he says, my brother only cares about the history books, but what about the Valerian line? It's about to be snuffed out by the pups of House Strong, meaning the bastards. He's saying it out loud in front of Rhaenys and Baela.
Right. And they was like, don't you know that's a problem? Like, you can't be out here wilding out now. You know the rules.
He said, Driftmark is mine by all rights. I want your support, but I don't need it. The winds have shifted. The crown has good reason to take my side, and you don't want to have a problem with me.
Apparently not.
And then he says, and so then Rhaenys is like, my cousin the king will have your tongue for this, because questioning the boys'
and
heritage.
He spoke that several times. He's been like, hey dog, like, let it drop and be quiet.
Yeah, it's considered treason, but this motherfucker, he's sick of shit. He's saying what he want to say. And so she said, my cousin the king will have your tongue for this. And Vaemon goes, but it's not a king that sits on the Iron Throne these days. It's a queen, which gives us the first hint. Viserys is incapacitated in some way, and Alicent and her folks is who really running King's Landing. So when he said that, it's like, oh, maybe, because at first I was like, yeah, Viserys would never, but Alicent, this will work right to her plan to get Rhaenys the fuck up out of the paint. Because if you get Vaemon on this crown, on this throne, you're basically saying that Luke Luke is not a properly whatever, like he's not a legitimate prince, if you say that, which means that Jace ain't gonna be considered legitimate when it's his turn, and that means Rhaenyra and her fucking bastard babies, she not legitimate. So like, it's like a up the chain move. It's a chess move if Alicent can find a way to get the Driftmark throne and not go to where it's supposed to go.
Right.
Acknowledging that these kids are bastards. And what I found the most interesting was that Rhaenys, she plays it cool, but she didn't want to give up that throne herself.
And I don't blame her.
Yes, but she talks like she would. when she been reading Rhaenyra for filth, the first few, it was all like a woman can't do this. They would never let me do this. And whenever she'd be like, they should have let you do it. Whenever Rhaenyra would be like, they should have let you do it. Whenever Corlys would be like, they should have let you be the queen. She would be like, I put that behind me. I don't care about that. Like, that's not even my thing. It's like, okay, well, now that you're sitting in that seat, though.
Yeah, and yeah, it is a whole nother story now. And also, I think it's one of those things where she be like, hey, I may not be like the queen over everybody, but I could be the queen here. Put like this, instead of CEO, I could be a supervisor. Like, I might having a supervisor position because at least I run something.
Which, like I said, it's to me same principle.
I agree.
Same principle. But I ain't knocking her for it. I think when you get in that motherfucking seat, it's right. It hit different.
It's different when it's theory.
I ain't know it was comfortable.
Right. I think before it was theory. And like you said, because of the way the world runs, she understands it. She's thinking about her safety too. If I give up this seat, how do I know I will be safe? How do I know I won't be just kicked out? Me and my family would just be kicked and booted out the front door.
So now we cut to Dragonstone. Apparently in the last 6 years, this is where Daemon, Rhaenyra, and Rhaena, the youngest black girl, Jace, Lucerys, and Joffrey have gone. And apparently Ray is toting a gut full of Daemon. They got a baby on the way too. So we get to Dragonstone. They've been here for 6 years. So last time they went to that, funeral, then they ended up with a funeral and a wedding. Two funerals and a wedding, basically. When that's the last time the family was together and seen each other, it seems. So Daemon goes against a clutch of 3 eggs from Syrax, the dragon, and he gives it to the dragon keepers. Like, can y'all put this shit in the toaster or whatever, keep them warm? And then they give him a note from Baela, and the note is informing him of what Vaemon is up to. Vaemon is about to motherfucking sell the King's Landing and be like, I want the Driftmark throne. So now they're aware of what's happening. He goes in, we see in the castle, and before he gets in, we see Rhaenyra come downstairs, dripping in red and gold. The fashions were off the chain this week, by the way. Dripping in red and gold, with a gut full of Daemon. And she watches Jace struggle through his High Valyrian lessons.
He's learned it for the first time.
And he don't want to give it up, but he don't know it. And he's like, I gotta learn this. A ruler of the realm supposed to know this shit. And she was like, unless you're gonna kill me, you got a ways off, buddy boy. So just calm down. And he's like, frustrated or whatever. But she sends him and Joffrey, who's being looked after like a handmaiden or whatever. She sends them out of the room once Daemon comes in.
Yeah, because he comes in and she looking at him like, okay, whatever this is, this must be serious, because that look on your face is like, okay, I got some sad news.
Right. And so then Daemon gives her the letter. She like, oh shit, this nigga tripping. If he go up there and get the throne, that's gonna call my children's legitimacy into question. That's gonna make me look like I'm not supposed to be on the fucking Iron Throne. We can't do this. We got to go to Driftmark. So we gotta go to King's Landing.
Right. And which is something that they probably did not have intentions on doing.
Yeah, and Daemon even says like, well, Vaemon only care about Driftmark and his family line. So like we could just let Vaemon, kind of do his thing. And Rhaenyra's like, no. Rhaenyra's like, no. That'll fuck up my whole family and your whole family. And Rhaenys is flying in there as well, and they know she won't be back in Vaemon. And Daemon's like, well, shit, she'll probably have our back, and she gonna make sure Luke get on the throne. And Rhaenyra's like, I don't know why you think that shit. Right, she think we killed her son.
Right, and the last time, that bitch walked straight past me and didn't say a motherfucking word.
That was before she thought I killed her son. Like, she gonna definitely be double hard feelings. And now we know Laenor's alive, but nobody else know. And she's like, yeah, she thinks it's a conspiracy to kill her son so we could get married. So why the fuck would she have our back? That makes no sense. We gonna have to go there ourselves. And it's funny because Daemon phrased it like, well, I don't think Rhaenys would be that cruel, or she wouldn't be that stupid or cruel. And it was like, what are you talking about? We killed her son is much more crueler that she won't support our right to the throne. Like, that's not, those aren't even. What the fuck? But Damon, I think sometimes Damon just be like, it'll be all right. But
right.
You know, but Rhaenys was on her shit this week. She was like, nah, it won't be all right.
Right.
We need to go see to this.
We can't just let this shit play out because it will be a problem.
Yeah, because Damon says, well, you know, she took Baela as her ward, so obviously she fuck with us. And Rhaenyra was like, that don't mean she fuck with us.
Right.
That means she's honoring her dead daughter by raising her granddaughter. That she can still hate our fucking guts.
Right. And she knows that child is pure blood. So what are you talking about here?
Yeah, like this, like, come on, bro. And so they got to go to King's Landing, and basically they don't have a choice because the high towers are running shit. And Damon's like, has the snake's venoms spread so far? And Rhaenyra's like, of course it has. We need to go. Like,
yeah, and we've been Alicent too, right?
Yeah, Alicent in here getting her Nancy Reagan on, and we can't just hope to get a fair ruling. So they got to go to King's Landing. And what I love about this show, they say we gotta go to King's Landing. Next scene, King's Landing.
Right, where, like I said, in previous seasons, we'd have had to watch them travel up there. Ain't no reason to watching them travel up there. Let's go.
So Ray and Damon pull up on King's Landing. They get announced. Oh, hail Princess Rhaenyra, House Targaryen, her uncle, lover, consort, Prince Damon, also a House Targaryen. And then this John Malkovich looking nigga named Lord Caswell comes out, and he greets them. And they go inside the castle. And the first thing they see is Alicent done changed all the motherfucking interior decorating. She done took down all the motherfucking like dragons and porn wall scrolls and shit, and put up religious symbols. Like,
she scraped all that shit. She's like, ain't no more fucking on the walls.
Yeah, it's all kinds of crosses and 7-pointed stars and lucky charms on the walls and shit.
Right.
To honor the 7, which is like, you know, the old gods or whatever the fuck. And you know, it's just everything's dripped in like religious piety, which works twofold. Obviously, one, you're erasing House Targaryen as you come to power. Right, literally, you're erasing them from the building. But also, Alicent, if she is ruling as queen, I think nothing serves her better as PR of, I'm the religious one. You know, oh, I honor the faiths and the gods and shit. And it's, right, you know, the citizens. Yeah, the citizens, they love, you know, that religion is the opiate of the masses. It's like, oh, the bitch can't be too bad. She got motherfucking crosses everywhere or whatever. But yeah, they took
6 years was long enough to forget about her being the crazy queen, apparently.
Yeah, like, cause she remember, the last thing she did was cut Rhaenyra in front of everybody.
Yes, she did.
And now it's, you know, you know, she's super religious, you know, look, you know, she cool. Meanwhile,
they like social media, such short-term memory.
Meanwhile, all the dragons in the attic, you know. So then we cut to the conference room with the motherfucking it's like a all hands on deck, you know, the small council meeting with all the big movers and shakers there and shit.
They got a whole stack of people in the room.
Alicent is sitting in the king's chair, and the king ain't there. And her daddy sitting next to her because he the hand.
Correct.
They run the things. And
the old man that was talking, oh my gosh, they were looking at him like, would you speed this shit up? Oh my god.
Yeah, Lord.
How long he done had that job? Forever.
Lord Beesbury. They've been hinting towards him when he's been talking, like he's been stumbling and bumbling through words. And this is now 20 years later, so I can't imagine he's gotten sharper. Better. But he like, they always make it seem like he be fucking up. So he was giving a boring ass speech on the financials related to the Stepstones, which is interesting because the Stepstones is that the last time we saw a small council meeting with Alicent and Rhaenyra there, Rhaenyra was the one who said, we need to defend and settle the Stepstones. We promised to do that and we didn't. Right. And so here we are 6 years later. apparently they took her up on her idea, and they are selling the stepstones, and they're making money from customs and all this other shit they were talking about.
Yeah, because it's a portal. Like, I'm not a portal, but like a waterway, ain't it?
Yeah, I guess it's just like an important location, but
okay.
It's super hard to hold and defend, so it costs a lot of money. But apparently, they did her idea that they said they wouldn't do. And they probably are only trying to work with it now because the Triarchy is there. The Triarchy has resurged, and that was like a huge place where all the battles happen with the Triarchy.
It's like, we don't want more battles here, wasting time.
Possibly, they didn't give us a shit ton of details, so I don't want to assume too much.
But
maybe that's the reason it's coming back up, is because we know a fight is going on with the sea snake and the Triarchy.
Yeah, and it wouldn't be surprising if they talked about that for a reason, because they didn't bring it up for no reason. I don't think they did. And so it wouldn't be surprising if, it's maybe another battle there, or another battle over this land, maybe at a different location, or something is going to happen for them to be bringing this up, in my opinion.
At any rate, it's far enough away that they don't really give a fuck. Right. So everybody at the meeting was bored as shit. It's like, it's
like somebody talked too long in a Zoom meeting.
Yeah, it's like how I imagine people talked about Afghanistan like 7 years into Obama being in Afghanistan, where it's like, we fucked up, somebody else got us in this, we can't get out. We like what happened, like that. So then Sir Harold comes in, that's the head of the King's Guard, older bald head dude. Harold Westerling. He comes in, is like, hey, the guest arrived, meaning Damon and Rhaenyra, and her kids too. And the black dude at the table named Lord Orwell is Orwyle. Okay, he was like, I thought Lucerys was gonna take over Driftmark. It's already been settled. Why are we having a meeting? Which I appreciate him saying, what is this about?
What? Like, I could have kept working. Why did y'all ping me in this meeting? Like, the fuck I'm here for? I could have been still working.
Yeah, he's a someone just said in chat, he's a Meister, or the Meister, the Grand Meister. So like he pulls that out. Tywin Lannister starts hating. I don't know why he started hating, but he was, this little nigga wasn't raised around Driftmark. He could fly a dragon, but can't he command a fleet? Like, what are we doing? And then Lord Beesbury's like, what the fuck that got to do with the throne, though?
Right. These two things are not the same.
It's either you got the right of succession or you don't. It's not how good are you at fucking selling ships. And then Jasper Wild was like, they never really named that boy formally as the heir. So if it comes to that, and Beesbury's like, if it comes to what? He's Laenor's son. What grounds could there be? And then Jasper Wild did the messiest, just the messiest shit that I've seen in a while on this show. He was like, what indeed, Lord Beesbury? What indeed? Basically, like, you say it. Is it you? I'm not gonna say he a bastard. They not gonna fucking kill me. But we all sitting at this table know that boy a bastard. So what could I be talking about, dummy? What else could I mean when I say skip over this boy and let's go straight to the black man? But Alicent's like, well, I gotta go greet the guest. And
I know, she was like, this is boring. All right, I'll talk to y'all guys later.
Yeah, so anything
to get out this meeting.
Yeah, well, what I thought was interesting, though, and this is I think good writing. They did not paint Alicent as devious in this scene, where she could have been like, yeah, we not giving that boy the seat. Like, she didn't tip her hand one way or the other in front of these people.
Right.
Like, we obviously would. I mean, I think all of us suspect she would not want that boy on the throne, because it can start we gonna keep Aegon on the throne or whatever. But they definitely didn't write it or play it that way, where she was like, there was our chance to strike. Like, she was like, all right, y'all, I gotta go.
Yeah, and also I think, or at least I hope, that over the 6 years she has learned like when to show her hand and when not to. And that wasn't the time. She's like, me doing anything in this meeting ain't gonna fucking make a difference. I can go and do something else.
Yeah. Well, I also have another suspicion that plays out in a couple more scenes, but I'll come back to that. But yeah, I just like that they, not all them people in the circle of trust, I guess. I don't know.
Agreed.
So then Lord Beesbury is, so then after Lord Beesbury gets shut the fuck up and she leaves, they start talking about some other shit that I didn't care about. I caught it, but I didn't catch it. It wasn't that important.
No,
it was like,
kind of
I know what it was. It was like, and now what about raising taxes on wool? I was like, I hope this ain't a plot point.
It's not. They were just doing something just so they can show that they kept the meeting going without her being in there.
So, which means Otto is probably the one in charge at that point.
Right.
Anyway, outside, this dude named Sir Eric, who apparently must have a twin because she called him Sir Eric or something. And he was like, no, I'm Sir Eric. And I guess.
But you're like, y'all look the same shit.
Yeah. So I guess they hinting at something about that shit. I don't think we got to see the other one this week. So if it's two of them, but I did see on the HBO guide that there's two of them in the King's Guard. One of them's named Eric and one's named Arik, but whatever. Maybe it'll be important later. Anyway, he's like, Queen, I need to talk to you for a second. And she was like, nigga, I gotta go greet the people. He was like,
you might want to listen. Like, this is really important. Like, I wouldn't come over here with no bullshit, ma'am.
This is a delicate situation, and it happened in your oldest son Aegon's apartment. And she had a look on her face like, oh, here we go. Like again or something like, oh
yeah, right. I was like, whatever this sounds like this is something she had to attend to before.
Yeah, she did not look like she was like it was surprised. Like she looked more annoyed than surprised. But right. And we know Aegon's a fuck up and a weird sexual deviant that likes to jack off outside his
windows, right?
Jacking out the window. So then Ray and Damon go to visit the King Viserys, who is down bad.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
We say each time he looked like he aged by like 25 years. Woo!
He was keeping that crib,
Yes.
And he's in bed. Half his face is like bandaged up. He's breathing like Jason Whitlock going up a flight of stairs.
Oh, no.
He's like he can't even sit up. It's a lot of moaning going on. Like he's
a lot of pain.
Like it's like and all this shit. And when they come in, he don't even he can't even see them and recognize them.
No.
He was like, who goes there? And then it was like, Daddy, it's me. You know what I'm saying? It's me and Damon. And he was like, Damon. And he's like, Damon come closer. And Viserys is like, help me sit up. And they sit him up a little bit. And you can see he's missing teeth. And he starts like touching at his head. Like the pain is getting to him. And he goes, it's been so long. And they explain like why they there. Like, yo, Corlys was wounded in the battle with the Stepstones. And he's like, what, the steps, nigga? That was years ago, wasn't it? What?
Like, I don't get what's happening here.
Remember, Damon, I tried to send you some help, and then you went all ham and won the battle by yourself and shit. And it was like, yeah, it's a new battle, but that tells you either A, his mind is gone, or B, they ain't been telling him shit.
Nothing. They ain't been telling him nothing.
He don't even know the fucking Triarchy back, and it's a new motherfucking, it's the rematch. He don't even know it's the rematch right now. And so Damon tells him the Triarchy is resurgent. This battle is new, and there's a petition on succession of the Driftmark throne. So that's why we here. And he touches his head and says, Alicent and Otto see to all that business now. And Damon was like, listen, I need you to fucking advocate for fucking Luke. Like, you gotta intercede. You gotta tell these motherfuckers to get a throne to Luke at Driftmark, or it's gonna be a big ass problem. We need you right now.
Yeah, it's gonna be a war. Like it will not end well.
And so then Ray introduces, she's like, oh, we got somebody here to see you. And she introduces her new kids. So apparently Her and Damon had 2 kids in the last 6 years, as well as this one that's in the chamber. And the kids' name are Aegon because they love that name. God damn. Aegon, they name kids Aegon the way that interracial couples name their kids like Jalen. You know, like I don't know what it is about this name that is calling them. I know he was that dude, but like Aegon is the motherfucking like John or you know what I mean, Bob of
Adam. Just that name that you go
take it down a peg, man. All y'all niggas can't have Aegons. Jesus. I feel like GR must have just got tired of writing new names. It was like just fucking Aegon. I don't know. And then the other name of the other baby is Viserys. So she named the baby after her own father. And he goes, a name fit for a king. Oh, ouch. Oh, wheezing, can't breathe.
I know.
But that baby face looked worried as fuck too. That baby was looking like, is he all right?
The baby was confused, going, what am I looking at? I don't blame you, baby, but everybody was like, what is we looking at?
Is everything okay with this person? And
mama, that don't look no right.
The baby start crying because it smelled crazy up in there. And then
I start crying too.
Yeah, and then Viserys asked for some of his tea. And apparently, you know, tea in this world is also how they give you medicine. So they give him some tea, and then Damon smells it and realizes it's 180 proof milk of the poppy. Like, woo, boy, they got the poppy is strong up in this, man.
Like, what is happening here?
Is there any tea in this tea? Because it smells like poppy to me. So then that's the end of that scene. So then we cut to Alicent. She's now in a room, and there's a servant girl on her knees, bent over, like she, like, you know how when like Japanese people apologize in like a movie or something, and they be bent all the way down on the floor,
almost like a bowing to the ground.
Yeah, yes. like just kneeling and bending over in front of her, crying. And another woman named Tyler, I believe, is in there with Alicent. She'll be important later. And so look, we knew Aegon was on some bullshit.
Yes.
Okay, my man be looking at the handmaidens in the break room like Ime Udoka. Okay, he just can't stop himself.
Right.
And they never look comfortable around him in this show.
Right. Everybody looking like, ooh, let me get away from you as soon as possible.
And can I give this show some props real quick? Because I think they found ways this season to show the idea and the danger of stuff like sexual assault, but without taking the time to like really show it.
Oh, right.
And I think that's like, it works important. Just as well. You get it across. They never came out and said Aegon's a rapey motherfucker. You just see the way the handmaidens look at him, the way he talks, the fear on people's faces, and you go, that boy up to something, and it ain't good.
Right.
Because it's Game of Thrones.
Right. Whatever it is, it ain't good.
Yeah. Like I have a feeling he's not reading bell hooks, if you know what I'm saying.
No, he is not.
So anyway, the woman who this is a handmaiden, and she assures Alicent that no one else, I'm sorry, Tyler, the woman who came in with Alicent, she assures Alicent that no one else has seen this handmaiden. She's like, just me, you, and the dude, the guard that came and got you. So Alicent, all right, cool. She's like, what's your name, girl? And she's like super crying, like hard to get every word out, you know, just some, you know, breaking all the way down. And she's like, Diana. And then Alicent was like, what happened? She said, I'm serving the prince some wine. This motherfucker disappeared. And then he fucking sexually assaulted me. And she can barely get it out. And she's like, you have to believe me, and all this stuff. And Alicent hugs her, and it feels like a genuine, like, I'm really sorry this happened to you. Yes, I believe you. I think, you know, like I feel sympathy for you. It's fucked up. He did this. And then she starts with the bullshit.
Yeah, she was like, but
yeah,
I can't have you around here talking, dog.
Right. So she's like, thank you for telling me, Dana. It wasn't your fault. I believe you. I do. But what I worry about is what others might believe.
Right. And the repercussions of you talking.
You were alone with the prince, were you not? Look at what you got on. Your Instagram got bathing suit pictures on it. You use the hashtag hot girl summer.
How
People
are
not
people gonna
gonna
look at? How people gonna like this?
people not gonna be able to trust it was you, that you
Mm.
didn't set this up. And she
You
was
got
like,
hashtag thought.
right. And she says, Diana's like, I won't tell anyone. And she was like, you told Sir Eric and Talia, and he told me. So you've been telling people, bitch.
You're right.
I don't think you're to blame, but others, they might. They're not so trusting. People might think you're trying to besmirch the prince, or you a straight up hoe. And do you know what happens to girls like that? And Diana now has flipped into like, oh God, I swear, no, please, I won't breathe another word to anybody. I swear on my life. And she says, I know you won't. And then she goes and gives her a sack of cash, like a little bit of money. She's like, for your troubles. And then Taylor returns with some of that Plan T. It's like, sip some of this abortion juice, girl.
Yeah, she watched her drink it too. She was like, you gonna drink this shit.
They sat there and watched her drink it. And honestly, we just watched Alicent invent the NDA. I'm disgusted. The fact that she was disgusted that Rhaenyra drank that motherfucking tea, and now she's handing out the tea left and right to protect her ain't shit ass son. Ma'am, have a seat. All the seats. So then after they watch her drink the tea, the next thing is Alicent showing up in Aegon's room, and she's trying to wake him up, but this nigga is sleeping the sleep of the conscienceless. Like he
ain't got a worry in the world.
Listen, this man was sleeping so fucking hard, like, and just like, oh man, raping takes a lot out of a guy,
right?
And so he doesn't even register her rage, because she's like, get up, get the fuck up, or whatever. And he was like, what did something happen? And she was like, yes, nigga, you raped somebody. And he was like, what? Who? Like Diana. And he's like, I don't know no Diana. She's like, the servant girl.
Right. He don't even waste the time to know their names.
She's like, this morning. He was like, oh shit, her? Wow.
We was having a good time. She was into it.
Right. Well, he says just harmless fun. She didn't know the need to go get upset about it. Like, that was his approach. Like, wow, didn't think she'd be a bitch about it. You know, like what? Like, that's how horrible she's raised her kids. Like, that's the thing about Alicent. You're looking out the blinds at everybody the fuck else.
Right, and not paying neither one of your children, and they are going to be motherfucking trouble.
The call is coming from inside the house. You got a bug witch baby, you got motherfucking the one-eyed serial killer ass nigga, and then you got this rapey motherfucker.
Right.
So like, when are you gonna take some time to raise your kids though? How about you spend some time at home, go to some PTA meetings,
right? Stop
motherfucking clocking everybody else's bullshit. So this nigga was like, look man, I don't know why she getting mad about it. It's just a little sexual assault. And then Alicent is like, I don't know how you can disrespect your wife like this and keep carrying on, especially on a day like today. And then she slaps him and she says, you are no son of mine. And you know, I feel like she slapped this man every time he's done this, and he's still her son.
Yeah, this is not the first time.
Yeah, this didn't feel like she stood up to him, she disowned him. Like, she still in her mind is like, I'm gotta get this kid on the throne to some extent. And here's what, so this is why I said I was gonna bring up the meeting earlier. I said I'll bring it up later. So at this point, I do believe to some extent Alicent had taken her thoughts of, we're gonna take the throne, we're gonna put Aegon on the throne, we're gonna usurp Rhaenyra, we're gonna run King's Landing. I do feel like she had softened on that stance, but I only feel like she had softened because this nigga's an eternal fuck up. He's horrible. You can't put him on the throne. You see what I'm saying? And so when she was not advocating, at that moment, I was like, I wonder if over this 6 years, seeing the man Aegon became, she's like,
Not you.
No, I don't think this gonna work. Like, not the way that I wanted to work. Look at this motherfucker. And I believe she married him to his sister, Helena. So the queer Targaryen customs that she frowned upon, she's now, they not so queer because it's worse than an uncle and a niece. It's the motherfucking brother and a sister. So anyway, she while this happens, Helena, I'm sorry, before Helena comes in, she says, I disown your ass, Aegon, or whatever the fuck. Aegon hops out of the bed, and this sorry piece of shit start making excuses for himself. I didn't ask for this. Oh, so now you understand consent? Because it sounds like a lot of people haven't been asking for stuff around you, but you've been giving it to them. I've done everything you've asked me to do, and I try so hard, but I will never be enough for you or father. And Helena comes in at this moment, and like I said, she's his wife and sister, and she don't know nothing about nothing because she's like, y'all seen Diana? She's supposed to change the kids,
right? She oblivious,
and all Alicent does is just hug her. So that's,
but she don't know about none of that shit.
Yeah, I wonder how much she doesn't know.
She don't know a lot. She still seems very innocent to a lot of that shit.
Because Aegon clearly disrespects her,
right?
And as Aemon, like when they were talking about marrying their sister at the last episode, the Aemon's like, I do my duty. I feel like Aemon would be a quote unquote husband in the way of these are the things I'm supposed to do. Aegon's such a fuck boy. He would never be a good husband to anybody, not even for duty's sake.
Right.
Anyway, so
he
then
was like, this is not my choice of a wife.
Right. So then now all this shit is made Alicent mad fucking late. So she was supposed to go greet Daemon and Rhaenyra.
Right. In her mind, she's going, I don't know what the fuck they've been doing, what the fuck they've been talking to the king about, because if I was in there, I could have monitored it.
Yeah, or just so I didn't even mean it from that perspective. I just mean the offense that is taken from being late. We saw this happen when they went to Driftmark, and the Viserys was mad that Corlys wasn't there to greet them right away.
Correct.
And so, like, greeting people is big shade on this if you don't show up. And so she has now unintentionally shaded these motherfuckers.
Yeah, not on purpose.
Because she been taking care of this shit, and she ain't gonna confide in them. So she been taking care of this motherfucking Harvey Weinstein ass nigga, and now she gonna show up hours late to talk to Ray and Damon. And of course, they was in the room like, yo, what we need to do is get Pops off them fucking meds, because clearly this shit fucking with his mind.
Right.
They need to change up his medicine to try a different tactic. He looked terrible.
He's like, oh, she knew. She got.
Yeah, Alicent comes in and greets him. Ray instinctively pulls back her scarred arm where she was cut with that dagger. And Damon mentions, like, you took your motherfucking time coming to greet us, and Ray was like, well, she must have had pressing matters. What can either of us know of ruling the kingdom? Which is also shade. And Alicent was like, I don't rule the kingdom. I'm just carrying out the king's will and wisdom. And Damon, who has no poker face, starts laughing like, what? Wisdom? You mean blinks and wheezes? This nigga can't even fucking speak. I don't even know if he
my brother.
Yeah, I don't know if he know his own name, let alone if you know it. Like, what the fuck? When the last time y'all counseled this nigga? He know it's a fucking war going on. We just talked to him. He was like, the Stepstones, we back there. Like, get the fuck out of my face, right? And then Alicent was like, no, I'm the best meisters are saying we got to give this nigga constant milk of the pot because the pain is too much. Y'all ain't never seen him when he ain't on that motherfucking milk, dog. It's different. And if they don't keep him basically tripping balls, it's too much pain. And Damon's like, okay, cool. Is that why you took down all the dragons and put up all the fucking crosses and 7 stars and shit?
Yeah, like, what's up with that?
Explain that. And she was like, oh, the emblems of the 7 serve only to guide us on an uncertain path, to remind us of Jesus, how I love him and praise him. And she went full religious on the like, that ain't nothing but the Lord, baby. So Ray was like, and what authority, since you talking about the authority of the 7 and the father and all this shit, what authority gonna decide my son's inheritance tomorrow? And she was like, oh, it's gonna be me, but don't worry, because the sweet blood of the Father is just and will command that she forgets the accusations that was held in this room today. Hallelujah. Amen. Praise him. And then she left. And the thing that becomes apparent about Alicent is she is your churched up auntie.
Yeah.
You know, the one that's evil, but go to church and then
the one that has
use
the strawberry peppermints in the bottom of her purse that don't nobody know where you buying from.
Right. And then she used the church to justify when she do fucked up shit. And you like, no, that was just fucked up. And it's like, nope, that's religious now. And that's what it seemed like is happening with Alicent, where it's like she's erasing the Targaryen legacy from the keep, but she ain't, oh no, it's not that. It's just I'm so religious. You're like, you so religious, you threw all my fucking Jet magazines away. You know, I look at the beauty of the week.
Come on.
It's like,
you tossed out all the ebonies.
I just needed a room for my Bibles. I'm like, what?
A whole ass room.
What they got to do with anything? And
I also wanted to go back when Rhaenyra and Damian had went to go see her daddy. We should have known that we knew something was wrong, but we should have known it was bad when his toy set had all the dust and cobwebs over it. I was like, oh, he ain't played with his train set?
I know.
Wrong.
Like, it was dust all over the shit.
Like, it probably had
ain't nobody even cleaning it.
It hadn't been touched in years. Because, that was his jam.
That's his pride and joy.
And he kept it meticulous and he kept building. I was like, oh, and this is before we even saw him. I was like, oh, something wrong, because that shit looked like ain't nobody touched that in forever.
Right. So then Jace and Luke go down to the yard in King's Landing. And they look at all the weapons and shit. It's like, oh, remember this? Oh, man, remember we used to be down here and we be fighting and shit. And everyone is looking at them like, there go them bastards.
Yeah.
There they go right there. Look up. Don't look. No, don't look. Don't look. There they go. Lord Strong kids. So listen,
they're whispering all around them children.
I know people, would write in and tell us how we was being unfair, but if you can't see there's a huge plot point with these motherfucking bastard babies, we're 8 episodes in and they won't let it go. That's not us, that's the show. Mm-hmm. The show is like, how the fuck is this bitch gonna slide these bastards by like the King of Hearts and the Queen of Hearts in the fucking Spades game? Because these are not face cards that they're supposed to walk.
Come on. How did the 10 of Diamonds win a book?
Right.
How Sway?
They not finna let it happen, and I don't know what else to tell y'all. The fucking whole kingdom is like, we not letting this happen. So
right, they looked at them. They was like, I know one thing, you better be not cutting no motherfucking hearts.
Right, and the thing is, like, they were so boldly called out in Driftmark. That made it back to everybody.
Yeah,
of course, Harwin Strong, fighting for his honor against Sir Kristen. All this shit has really just become like the silent truth, the real truth. Mm-hmm. And so yeah, man, they couldn't even go down there and look at the shit. Everybody's like, there go the bastards. And so even the youngest one, Luke, was like, I hate how they staring at us. I know they wouldn't be looking at me like that if I look less like Harwin Strong and more like Laenor Valerian, my quote unquote daddy.
Right.
And Jason's like, it doesn't matter what they think, which is what his mom told him to say.
Mm-hmm. And he bought all in.
They hear a crowd cheering in the background and they go and run to see what the fuss is about. And it's Aemon sparring with Sir Kristen, and they using real weapons.
Mm-hmm. He done leveled up.
Yeah, Sir Kristen got a mace. He fucking broke Aemon's shield, and Aemon got a sword, and they start fucking like swinging at each other and barely missing and shit. And until Aemon finally gets the better of him, pointing his sword at him, and then Sir Chris is like, "Well done, my prince. You'll be winning tourneys in no time." And Aemon, without flinching, without smiling or anything, wearing that eye patch. I don't give a shit about tourneys.
I was like, he don't care about them cheers, dog. Like his goal is the throne, and the winning them, that shit ain't gonna get him on that motherfucking throne. He just wants to know how to fight.
He want to kill some real people,
right?
And then he, without looking at him, he's still looking at Sir Kristen. The nephews, of course, are in the crowd, but they haven't, made eye contact to see. And he goes, nephews, have you come to train? And I said, oh Lord Jesus, babies, don't get in that. Don't you get in that ring.
Oh, they knew better.
Don't you train with him. That man, that man has been looking to square that equation, that eye for an eye, for 6 years.
And not only that, I think that he fucked around and got an evil eye. They fucked his eye up, and I think his sight might have got better. Cause like, how the fuck you know that was over there one eye?
Right. Like he got the daredevil senses. He got echolocation or some shit. All I know is don't take your ass over there. Look. I don't like how this is shaping up for Ray Ray's kids.
Mm-hmm.
It's not looking good. I get that it's good to have balance and learn High Valerian and spend a lot of time reading books and shit. I get that. Them boys are soft.
Yeah, compared to the other ones. Yes.
And as much as I despise the way that Alicent has raised her kids are they some scrap. I don't want it with them kids. Mm-mm. I feel like if it come down to it, the fucking Ray's kids versus Alicent's kids in a physical contest, it's not looking too good. Mm-mm. None of them niggas like they've been in the gym. They don't train.
Yeah, they read comic books all day and play video games.
Yeah, they like life too good for them. That's good for 2022 to be well balanced. But for motherfucking whatever year of Game of Thrones reality this is, it ain't the same.
You can't be out here like us.
But before they can even motherfucking answer the do we want to train, which is no. Shout out to Friday.
Come on. Nope.
Vaemon enters and he's escorted by Entourage, and he had a dope ass entrance too, because he was looking like I came to get my motherfucking throne. Like the only thing missing was a dude drumming, being like the chamber's here. Like he was just do. He just came in like, let me get my motherfucking throne.
Like y'all know why I came. Y'all read the letters,
right? And in the small council room, we get a brief scene with Otto and Alicent. And the way they filmed this is so interesting because it looks like it's only Otto and Alicent in the room at first. And it's Alicent saying basically like, I don't know if I want to do this. Like, we'll be erasing Rhaenyra's claim to the throne if we do this. Mm-hmm. And now that we're here, I'm starting to have second thoughts. And then it pans over and she worries like also Corlys isn't dead. He could live.
Right. And like what happened? He come back. Like it'd be all types of bullshit if that man comes back and he's alive and y'all done fucking made all these arrangements without him. It'll be a problem.
Right. But then the camera pans over. Vaemon's been in the room with them the whole time. So she's not really just talking to her father. She's not really able to have second thoughts. She's sitting here with the motherfucker that's like, I'm taking that throne, and so Vaemon starts making his argument, which is, look, I just want my motherfucking family throne. It's my throne. Okay. Otto is like, there's a war looming. We can't afford to have a child at the command of our greatest fleet, especially one that's never commanded a fleet before. And Vaemon says, whoever the next ruler of the Tides is going to be would owe you a personal favor, and you'd have their loyalty and the loyalty of Driftmark. Now, what's interesting about this is he's clearly talking about himself, but that actually would apply to either one that she chose. If she chose to honor Luke's succession, Luke would still owe her, but whatever. It's, I get his point. But the point is, even with the way they filmed that, it wasn't a legitimate discussion because he was in the room.
Right.
But her voicing her second thoughts in front of them goes back to my personal belief. Alicent was softening. She was not ready to install Aegon on that throne.
Because she was like, he is a piece of shit.
Right. I think she was not like, I don't think she was in the whole episode like, I'm taking the throne. We stealing it finally. Honestly, if they was really about that life, they should have been overdosed this nigga on milk of the poppy, right? Like they should have been killed Viserys while Daemon and Ray was in Dragonstone. If they was about that life of like, we taking this fucking
No,
throne.
I really do think that she was telling the truth. They was like, the pain is so bad that this is the only thing that would kind of ease the pain.
It doesn't hurt them to obviously be in charge. You know,
Right.
I'm not naive, but it was like, if this is like, I think Otto would gladly be like, kill this nigga and let's move on.
Of course.
But I think there's something about the way they're running and you know, people hearing this may think of it as like a defense of her, when I'm actually about to say, I think it makes her soft. I think it makes her weak. It's kind of interesting that she was softening on this. I think she just forgot. It's been long enough. She's had the pressure of actually running the kingdom instead of fucking like, you know,
the theory.
Right. Instead of it being a theory, she has been running it for 6 years or however long. And she looked like she wasn't really about that life anymore. Like, she was looking for a way out, in my opinion, with this whole like, do we have to ass attitude? And I was like, okay, that's kind of shit to get you killed. Maybe we shouldn't. And then Ray be on that throne, people be contesting like, maybe she shouldn't be the queen, and now your kid's on the chopping block because you fell off. You thought shit was sweet.
And that's her daddy's point, and her daddy know he is pushing that agenda.
Yeah, he don't give a fuck. I mean, he was out of power for like 10 years, so he taking it back anyway. So outside at the face tree, Rhaenys staring at that shit, probably thinking like, should I pick off a switch and whoop Rhaenyra ass? And Rhaena, the littlest black grandchild, the little baby girl,
come on, the smallest one,
she comes down and greets her grandmama after 6 years not seeing her. They hug, and then here come Rhaenyra sliding up behind her like, you love your grandbaby. Anyway, Baela, can you go ahead? I mean, Rhaena, can you go ahead and go
like,
upstairs?
this is the only one getting to the room. I gotta put you up here first,
because you know, but they love grandbabies.
Yep, that's how you catch them with the grandkids.
Yeah, they love grandbabies. But then she's like, oh yeah, that was beautiful, that was lovely. Can I talk business with you for a second? And then she was like, I want to thank you for raising Baela honorably. And Rhaenys is like, you do me great. You know, oh, you paid me a great compliment or whatever. And what it made me think about is, that is right. Rhaenys raised Baela. I bet Baela done watched so much Murder, She Wrote and Dallas and General Hospital.
Feud.
Yeah. Like she got raised by her grandmama.
Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah. That baby probably know all the motherfucking
what is that one where they turn the big wheel? Price is Right.
Price is Right. Yeah. She probably know all the Price is Right games.
Come on. General Hospital. She knows them all.
Rhaenyra asked to speak with her with H-Ray-C. That's what I call Rhaenys. She asked to speak with H-Ray-C alone. And Rhaenyra puts her cards on the table. She like, listen, girl, Rhaenys, I'd figured it out. You not here to advocate for me and my son. You not here to advocate for Vaemon. You finna advocate for yourself to be on the throne. Which, like I said, interesting. Considering where she came from.
Yeah, and she also saw right through it. She was like, yeah, if y'all not coming as a united front, you coming on your own.
Yeah. And so she was like, look, why don't you support Luke? And that'll help me out. But then also, this is a trap. The queen and the hand are trying to question the legitimacy of my child. And Rhaenys is like, and yet you did worse to my child. Did you not kill Laenor? And to her credit, I guess Ray does not come clean and be like, he's alive or whatever. She just goes, I ain't had nothing to do with that. I loved him and I didn't order the code red. That, you know, that's not on me. And Rhaenys goes to leave, and Ray was like, I got an offer. We marry all the kids to each other. So now my oldest son would marry Baela. My Luke would marry Rhaena. They already know each other. They held hands at a funeral once. They've been raised around each other. We keep the family name strong, and it'll work out for everybody. Rhaena will eventually be ruling in Driftmark, and Baela would eventually be the queen of the fucking 7 kingdoms. And Rhaenys is like, that's a generous offer, or a desperate one. You could bargain with me all you like, bring my granddaughter to soften the blow, but tomorrow the High Tower strike the first blow, bring you to your knees, and I must stand alone.
Yeah, because she saw it coming, because she knows how this game is played. She was like, yeah, they setting this up to take you down.
And then she just walked off.
Yeah, and
Who you finna try? I bet it ain't me. Oh, bitch, it ain't me. Caps. Who are you finna?
And even better than that, you could play Rob was right because you had talked about how all of them was going to end up being together, being married. You was like, something about that didn't sound right. You was like,
Rob was right. Rob was right. Yep, Rob was right. Yeah, Rob was right. Whoop, what was that again? Oh yeah, Rob was right. Rob was right.
Listen, okay. These motherfuckers' family tree look like a goddamn stick.
a circle.
Not even it's like a stick. It's just one fucking line. Okay, this it's like bamboo. What like? Why is the solution to everything some incest on this motherfucking family? God damn this family, boy. You're like, man, I'm in a bind. You know what'll work? I marry my son to his sister. You marry the cousins, and then I'll marry my niece. You're like, what? Who proposes solutions this way?
And what's so fucked up? They did that in real life years ago. A lot of wealthy people did that, so they wouldn't have the wealth wouldn't go outside of the family.
Well, I guess
that's why they had to pass laws and said you can't do that.
So then we get a real sad scene. Rhaenyra goes to visit her dad in the dead of the night as he's, breathing all, messed up. It's raining, storming, and she's like, "Do you still believe the Song of Ice and Fire to be true?" And he's so out of it. He's like, "Aegon's dream." And she's like, "You told me it was our duty to unite the realm against our common foe, but by naming me heir, you divided the realm. They not feeling me, Pops. I thought I wanted it." And then she started crying. She's like, "But the burden is a heavy one. It's too heavy." And that's what the fuck I've been saying. That's all I've been saying. Like, I don't think Rhaenyra wanted like that. She wanted the freedom that men have to not really be to play the game the right way and still end up on top. And she found out that if you're a woman and you play it wrong in any fucking way, everybody's got a fucking problem with you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's all I've been saying when I was like, maybe the thing for her would have been to be like, I don't even want the throne, Pops. Like, it's just get the shit to Aegon then, because I want to have a fucking life. And as long as I'm expected to do all this shit to be the queen, I'm going to be unhappy and I'm never going to trust that you're going to do it. So, and the realm won't accept me. So fuck it. Let me just go marry my fucking uncle and be happy or whatever the fuck. Yeah, but she never got to do that.
And she tried to do everything she could to sabotage that.
Yeah.
Her daddy was so gung-ho on, nope, I told you I'm not going to break my promise to you. And this is what we're going to do. And so finally she was like, well, fuck it. I might as well do it.
If her daddy wasn't so stubborn and crazy about how she got to be on the throne, and how he was refusing to look at her flaws and the stuff with Damon at the club, the stuff with the bastard babies and all that shit. If it wasn't for him, she wouldn't even be in contention, but he just loves her so much. And I think to some level, the character is making up for what happened with her mom.
Yes.
And I think he's been paying this quote unquote penance the whole show of like, I made the wrong decision. I chose power over love one time in my life, and I will never do that shit again, no matter how fucking bad it makes me look, no matter how. I will fight tooth and nail to keep my family together, and it doesn't matter. Nothing else matters to me. So then she's talking and he goes, "My only child." And then she was like, "If you wish me to bear it, then defend me and my children." But he too drugged up and weak. He just whispers to himself and he can't say shit. And she started crying even harder because it's hopeless, And then in the morning we see Viserys getting treatment and bandages, and Otto is in there, and he's overseeing the Meisters.
He literally looked like Skeletor, y'all.
Yes, this nigga looked like Gollum from Lord of the Rings.
He looked terrible. All those sores, and like he couldn't have weighed more than 95 pounds.
What this show has done with shit like this is so good, because before it's dragons and fucking giants and it's all the, but like I'm sure it was hella CGI makeup and special effects to make this man look like the Crypt Keeper. And
they did a hell of a job. They spent the money, and you could see it. I was like, oh, he is sick. Because before you was like, oh, he's sick. But no, when they show his whole body, you was like, oh, this shit is eating his body up.
Yeah, I was watching that shit. Like, bring back the darkness from last week when they was outside. Can we make it darker in here? A little darker.
A little darker. Turn the tent down.
The rats were literally crawling over his motto of Volantis in the background.
Somebody brought up something that I forgot about. They were saying in the his Lego set, it was smoke pillowing out.
Oh, so from my understanding, the smoke was from the incense in the room. Because when I saw the same thing the first time I watched it, this time when I watched it, it appears that there's incense going because it probably smell crazy up in there.
Oh, but
yeah. So they probably just burn the incense.
Smell like
at all times.
Smell like old flesh, yeah.
Yeah. I hate to be the royal incense lighter. I know that job gotta suck.
Gotta suck bad.
So then Viserys tells Otto he wants to have supper with the whole family tonight. And you could tell he'd be so drug-addled and out of it because Otto ain't know what the fuck he was talking about. I was like, I would like supper. He's like, it's morning, Your Grace. He's like, nigga, tonight. What? I'm not dead. Yes, I want supper tonight. And they sit him up. And when they set him up, the way this man moaned and pain.
He was in so much pain.
Just from sitting up. And it was a constant moan. It was like, like the whole time he was sitting up. Because Patty was acting. And then Otto says, bring him some milk of the poppy. And Viserys says weakly, no. And tells him, just arrange the supper. I was like, oh shit. So he's trying to get his mind off them drugs. Because whatever Rhaenyra said to him, it must have got through. But the next day in the throne room, who's on the throne? Otto. He's like, it's me, the hand of the king. I'll speak for the king. Y'all know you this. It's your boy, Otto Hightower. You know what I'm saying? We do this all the time.
I'm just up here on the throne. Shout out to everybody in the room.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We're going to bring this thing on home now. Give it up for yourselves. Give it up for yourselves. Y'all looking lovely tonight.
Good looking crowd out here. Good looking crowd.
But he goes, I'm going to hear the petitions for who should be on the throne today. Let's start with Vaemon. Vaemon speaks first. And of course, he's getting his Stephen A. Smith on. You know, our families go way back. Okay. We held it down over the years. The Valerians, we held it down on the seas. Y'all held it down on the skies. We the last OGs, okay? Y'all can't just end our bloodline here. I got the true Valerian blood, fam. And then Rhaenyra interrupts. She's like, the blood of my sons is true as well. And it runs up in there because they lay no kids. And you trying to supplant the rightful heir to the house of Valerian. And you just you really only speaking for yourself. You're not speaking for the real.
She was trying.
And then Alicent was like, Ray, let that man finish.
Yeah, we'll give you your chance to speak.
Yeah. And then Vaemon was looking at her with this feeling.
I want to call you one.
Yes, he did.
Is it okay if I call him one?
And
he was like them what you call them dudes online, this black dudes online that been harassing everybody about Sherry being the Black Panther.
Yeah. It was like Ray was trying to make this argument of like being a real victim. Now it's funny because we all know Vaemon is right. Them ain't laying on his kids. Ain't no black in them kids.
Nope.
Like, you know, but then fucking Rhaenyra is lying in front of everybody and playing the victim card and making it seem like this is coming out of nowhere.
Cancer culture can be cruel.
And so
it can be cruel, apparently.
And so she interrupts this nigga and he's like, I'll let you talk now. Let me talk. Look, I know Princess Rhaenyra. And we go back and all of that. We go way back. That's a good sister. I talk to her on the Raven all the time. Okay. 2-3 times a week. But however, what you know about that Valerian blood, princess? I could cut my veins and show it to you right now, and you still wouldn't recognize it. Them kids ain't my nephews. Queen Alicent, Lord Hand, this ain't about ambition. It's a matter of blood.
Mhm.
And I'm the real successor.
Mhm.
And I shall be the
Talking,
Lord
boy.
of the Driftmark and the Lord of the Tides. And you don't want to have a problem with me. And then Rhaenyra starts speaking like, it's my turn. Okay. Fosco 20 years ago. And then the doors open and interrupt her. And everybody turns to the back of the room like, what's going on? And then we get the motherfucking like fanfare from the trumpets and shit. And the music starts swelling.
I was like, what is happening back there?
And then we get the motherfucking announcer. And the announcer was like, King Viserys of House Targaryen, first of his name, King of the Andals and the Rhaenyra, and the first men, Lord of the Seven Kingdoms, and the protector of the realm.
I was like, how this nigga get out of bed?
And nobody saw this coming.
Nobody saw this coming. They did not.
Alicent, Otto.
Everybody was like, what the fuck? And why is he? Everybody was literally like, why is he here?
Alicent, Otto, and Vaemond was exchanging looks like, uh-oh, our secret plan to steal the throne. What's finna happen?
Right.
And Viserys has on his crown. He got a mask covering his fucked up part of his face. It's gold.
Mm-hmm.
And he's limping with that crutch. And you can't see his other arm because it's like half gone now.
Mm-hmm.
And he looked like Yoda. Like, y'all remember when Yoda came to fight Count, was it Dooku at the end of that one? That the one that sucked? But that fight was good. He came at the end. He motherfucking...
You know, he gave himself that speech. Do or do not.
Yeah. Oh, it's I think he went to fight the Emperor or some shit. But he had the cane. He was looking like, this nigga finna get his ass whooped. But then he was like, nigga, I'm Yoda. Well, we got that part, but without the nigga, I'm Yoda. He was just still fucked up. But he, was taking his time walking
that was a slow ass walk. I was like,
to the throne.
This nigga is acting.
Yes. Took him 20 minutes.
It did.
To get to the throne. And before he gets there, he tells Otto, I will sit the throne today. And as he's like taking the cane steps, each step is like,
yes. I was like, is he gonna sit down and die?
And the guard tries to help him. Like, I got you, King. And the king says, I'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm like, he might not make it.
Mm-hmm. And then he gets to the steps. And he takes up the steps and fucking his crown falls off because he was leaning to the side because his balance is all off and shit. And someone picks up the crown and he says, I'll be fine. But it's Daemon.
Mm-hmm.
And Daemon is helping him with the last few steps.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, y'all. Oh my God.
Everyone falls.
I was like, damn, his heart grew 3 sizes at that moment.
I'm not gonna lie, I got a little emotional.
Right. He was like, I know, but damn, that's my brother. I mean, damn.
I said, damn, these dragons done got my ass, man. I'm over here about to burst into tears. Like, look at these family come, because family gonna come through at the end. That's all we have. Like, that's how I was feeling. Like, damn, Daemon, petty ass. Even though he just want the throne for his, but still,
I think, that was a sincere move.
Like, he helped his brother, and then when his brother, Viserys sits on the throne, and he's washed, y'all. It's like,
woo, he looked like it took everything. It was like that one time I had caught the flu.
Mm-hmm.
I was determined. I was like, I'm gonna go to school today, nigga. I got up, put my clothes on, sit down. I was like, whew, I think that's it for today. He literally looked like I will be doing no more further activities for the day.
And he sits down and was like, lean back, and then Daemon gently puts the crown on his head.
Mm-hmm.
And
it was so touching.
Oh my God, this Patty, Matt, they did that, and I read that was improvised.
Oh,
like that. If like, I don't know if the first, like the final shot was improvised, but the crown falling off his head and Patty and Matt Smith going to get it as Damon. That wasn't in the, like a thing they planned to do, but once they did, it was like, we have to put this on.
Right.
So he gets on there, catches his breath, and he's like, I must admit to my confusion. I do not understand why petitions are being heard over a settled succession. The only one who might have some insight is Princess Rhaenys. And so Rhaenys steps forward and says the truth. Corlys always wanted them boys on the throne, and I never disagreed with him about it. That part's a lie, but I supported it, and so that's what the fuck should happen.
Right. Basically, it's one of them things, but she was just gonna, okay, I'm just gonna respect his wishes.
But also, I think she was swayed by Rhaenyra's promise, because she brings it up and says, and Princess Rhaenyra has sworn that all the babies gonna get married to each other.
Okay.
And more than anything, I think Rhaenys looks at it like, I would like Baela and Rhaena to be done right. They should be, I know that they'll be on the thrones they supposed to be on within my family, and that settles it for me. And she goes back and she holds Baela's hand.
Mm-hmm.
And Vaemon was not having that bullshit.
He was mad, but before we go into him, that was a shocking turn, because I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, because we should start talking. I was like, holy shit, she took up on that offer.
Yeah.
Because the way she left, I was like, she ain't gonna do that.
Yeah, you thought she was gonna advocate for herself.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I was like,
and knowing Viserys, he would have listened. Like, he the only one that would have been like, well, that's what she said, I'm gonna go ahead and do what she said. But that offer was too tempting because she loved her grandbabies.
right. And I was like, and it's actually smart. Like, that's
Right.
actually really, really smart move to do that. And the thing is, once she said that sealed the deal.
Mhm.
Like, anything after that, it actually didn't even matter, because he was like, I'm gonna let you go first because I know that, not trying to funny, you kind of outside all this bullshit. So I'm gonna let somebody kind of speak up for your house, because basically, since your husband not here, you actually are divorcing your house.
So then, of course, this did not go well with my man Vaemon. He
was like,
he said, I hear what y'all saying. Let me just stop you right there.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you,
We don't care.
We don't care. If anything,
Disgusted by a lot of things. I'm very disgusted, to be quite honest with you. I'm just so disgusted.
I can't tell you how disgusted I am.
I'm disgusted with him right now. I'm so disgusted. I'm disgusted with it. I'm so disgusted. I'm so damn disgusted. I'm just disgusted. Oh, I'm just trying to be cool. But
and so he starts talking.
yes, he did.
You break the law and centuries of tradition. I'm sorry. I love King Viserys. Okay. We go way back. Okay. I'm talking all the way back to Aegon. Okay. I'm talking about we fought in wars together with me and Damon. Okay. I respect that brother a lot. That's a bad boy. Okay. But when you break the law and centuries of tradition to install your daughter in there, and you dare to tell me about the deserter inheritance, so the name Valerian, no, I will not allow it. No, I will not. And then Viserys like, allow it. Do not forget yourself, Vaemon. And Vaemon was like, I'll let you talk, let me talk. Now, no, I was talking. No, absolutely. This is my show. You're not going to tell me. You're not going to shut me down on my show. Absolutely not. That is no true Valerian. He was pointing to them bastard boys.
Mm-hmm.
And certainly no nephew of mine. And then Ray was like, you need to chill. Go to your chambers. You done said a lot now. You're going too far.
Right. You done spoke too much.
And Viserys like, Lucerys is my true grandson, and you ain't nothing but the second son of Driftmark. Calm your tits. And then
right. They kill him with them second sons, don't they?
right. And Vaemon was like, me and Lucerys, we go way back. Okay. I've known that kid since he was this high. All right. I watched that brother grow up. And you can run your house however you see fit. But however, you will not decide the future of my house. My house survived the doom and 1,000 tribulations besides. And guys be damned, I will not see it ended on account of this. And then Damon said, say it. Because we all knew what he wanted to say. And I said, oh, he ain't gonna say it.
I mean, he not gonna.
That's just stupid at this point.
Right. I mean, because it's been said several times, don't say that bullshit.
Yeah, it like, I mean, they don't let a few people slide, but all them people being royalty.
Right.
Don't do this, black man. He paused for a second and thought about it, and then he yelled, her children are bastards, and it echoed in the room like bastards, bastards, bastards. And then when the echo settled, he was like, and she is a whore.
I was like, ooh, bitch, she shaking the table.
Listen, okay, famous last words.
Okay, now back to the shaking the table.
Yeah, he was surprised about I'm supposed to be sorry for that bitch. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Her wig is coming off. Her wig is coming off. Her wig's coming off.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God. I didn't think he would say it. I thought they were gonna be like, and her children are, and then Damon would be like, say it, and he was gonna be like,
You know, bitch.
but instead he fucking said it. He fucking said it. And everybody got fake offended.
Didn't it though?
But Sarah stood up and pulled out that dagger like he was gonna do something.
And he could barely hold it up. I was like, shit, he gonna cut himself trying to hold it up.
Looking like the old man at the end of motherfucking New Jack City.
Yeah, he was like, I'll cut you. I was like,
Idolater, your soul belongs in hell. It's like,
I was
nigga,
like,
you can't kill nobody with that.
You ain't, and you're too far away. The fuck you gonna do?
He gonna have to wait 20 minutes for you to cane your ass over there. Get the fuck on, bro. And so, but then before anybody else can say shit, Damon slices Vaymon's head from behind in half. And because Viserys is like, I'll have your tongue for that, Damon cut this nigga head off, but like right above the jawline, so his tongue was still attached to his neck. And he goes, he can keep his tongue. I said, oh my God, Damon Green.
I did not that's good. I did not see that coming. Cause that nigga was talking. The next thing you know, you just see a slice and his head fall. I was like, holy shit.
I said, when the tape get out, boy, you get suspended. That's at least a fine.
Come on. That's at least a fine.
You can't
3
do that.
games.
You can't do that to your teammates, okay? The guards are like, disarm yourself, Damon. And Damon just laid the sword down like, y'all can have the sword. I'm done. And anybody else gonna talk shit about? Okay, cool. So it sounds like it's all cool. And then the king is in tremendous pain. He slumps over. And Alicent is like, get him some milk at the poppy. He's like, no, I'm good. And he's like, take me back to my chambers. And I do feel bad for Vaymon because he was telling the truth. But he got a little ahead of himself.
Mm-hmm. Oh no!
I mean, he didn't know Damon was gonna cut him off. He blew his top.
Oh, that's what happens when you ahead of the class.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we knew heads would roll. Hate to see that brother go out like that, but if you're gonna go out, he got every motherfucking dime of his shit talking.
Woo,
he got it in there.
He went out with a bang.
Her kids are bastards, and she's a whore.
She was like, she is a whole ass whore.
Your daughter is for the streets. Them kids.
She out here having hot girl summers, and you don't give a fuck. He was like, she's out here shaking ass all up in the clubs.
Them kids shop at Whole Foods, and you know it.
Right. He was like, the fuck is this? She walking around with goddamn thongs. All we see is booty cheeks, and you think this is okay, sir? No, it is not.
In the morgue, Rhaenys looks upon Vaemon's body being prepared. Grand Maester Orwell, the black dude from the small council, says, yeah, you might just want to let the Silent Sisters do their thing. It's weird to sit down here and stare death in the face. And she was like, the stranger, who is the symbol of like death and the unknown and the 7 gods that they worship. She's like, the stranger has visited me more times than I can count. And it cares not if my eyes are open.
Yeah, because she's like, look, I done did my daughter, my son. Like, I think I'm good with this.
And we finally have an answer to the question that we've all been wondering: who did the body? It's the 7 sisters. Apparently, they do the bodies.
Well,
These
they
for
do
the
a
royalty.
good job. Yeah, they do a good job.
I mean, they got their work cut out for them to get his,
head back together.
Yeah, he just lost his head a little
A
bit.
lot of stitching. Yeah,
Yeah.
he gonna be in that closed casket anyway.
Yeah, oh for sure. I guess he shouldn't have been running off with the mouth.
Apparently not.
So so then,
it was so funny. Damon look and said, "You feeling froggy jumping?" He got sliced up jumping.
So then, I also love this. We know there's a supper coming up. Rhaenys is like, yeah, let's go ahead, get his body ready, sail back, and let me hop on this dragon. I love Rhaenys because she is the auntie who leaves early and skips the dinner.
Yeah.
She is me and I am her.
Yeah, she's like, I don't got shit to do with that dinner. I did what I came to do, and I don't have to. Not trying to face one of them things, but I don't have to worry about this nigga challenging me no more, because ain't nobody else gonna challenge me now. I'm going back home, and just regardless of if my husband returns or not, I'm cool.
Not just that. You go to the wedding, they killing people. You go to the funeral.
She don't learn her lesson.
They killing people.
Yeah.
Okay. Every time these motherfuckers break out the spades table, we know what's gonna happen. So why do I need to be there for this? Okay, let me hop on my dragon, get out early, pack me a plate to go.
Yeah. Every time they show up in the event and they all green out here, talking about wash me down and fuck around, somebody dies. She was like, you know what? I put like this, y'all get the body ready, and we're gonna go ahead and fly back. And put like this, we ain't gonna invite. Probably people are not even gonna get a funeral. We ain't gonna invite them. It's gonna be a private
you
ceremony.
Can't even have a funeral with these motherfuckers. Mm-hmm. Plus, he a hater. So, like, I'm definitely not having a funeral with this nigga, even though he was right. But you gotta, I'm good.
Right.
Hopefully, Corliss don't wake up and find out his brother got killed and have feelings about it.
Right.
She's gonna have a hard time explaining that shit.
Right. And that's beyond her control, because she didn't know Damon was gonna do that.
So at supper, Alicent and Ray sit on either side of the king, who gets carried to the table in his chair. All the kids are there, and Otto Hightower is there too. And there's a lot of sex going on, so let me explain. You got Ray and Laenor's kids sitting next to each other because they the betrothed ones. So you got Jay sitting next to Baela. At another end of the table, you got Luke sitting next to Rhaena, and they're already kind of cute, coupled up. If you can say that about kids, like it's very. It felt like going to Benihana before the prom type of style for them.
It did, didn't it? It felt like little kids. You was like, oh, this is sweet. And what school y'all go to? And
of course, you have Helena sitting next to Aegon, her rapey ass husband that seems to be a trash husband,
and they brother and sister.
Shout out to democracy. Because I wouldn't want anybody at this table running my country. I would at least want to vote. Okay. The bamboo family tree that can't be the best way to rule anything.
Can't be.
So then Alicent gives the prayer to 7 to start, because she fake religious. So she's like, hey, y'all ready to pray? And may the mother smile down on this gathering with love, and may the smith mend the bonds of this family, which has been broken far too long. And to Vaemond, and when she said Vaemond, Damon's face was hilarious. He was like, hey, this nigga, why are we toasting this bitch?
Right. Well, I just killed him. What are you talking about?
Right. To Vaemond, may the gods give him rest. And Damon's like, oh, he's gonna get a lot of rest for the rest of his life. That was it. And Viserys is like, even though he's mangled and tired and in pain, he's like, it's a cause for celebration with the marriage announcements that will strengthen the bonds of the family. Let's have a toast. And then Aegon starts in, teasing Jace within earshot of Baela, who is his newly betrothed. And he's like, you finally gonna get some pussy, dog. And Jace is like, go ahead, man. Stop. Why are you acting like this?
Right. Like, this is not that important. I'm not fucking with you. Don't fuck with me. We can sit beside each other without you acting an ass.
And then Viserys toast Luke as like the new Lord of Driftmark. Good for you, buddy. And then Rhaena is like, you'll be great. And Aegon starts up again with Jace. And Jace go like, he's like, you know, like, do you know how to put the cock in the vagina and shit? It's like, nigga, do you know how not to? And Jace says, you can play jester all you wish, but hold your tongue before my betrothed. And Aemon at the other end of the table just looks on unsmiling with his eye patch looking mad devious.
Mm-hmm.
And so Viserys gets up. He sees all this infighting. He says, it both gladdens my heart and fills me with sorrow to see these faces around the table. The faces most dear to me in all the world have grown so distant from each other in years past. He takes off his mask, revealing.
Hey, y'all. It's one of them things I say, oh, this is worse than I thought.
Yeah. Like he just.
Woo, he lost an eye.
The eye gone. Part of his jaw, like on his face, the cheek was gone. You could see into where the teeth are.
Mm-hmm.
Fam.
That's why his face was wrapped up.
I was not ready.
I was not ready.
Okay. Oh my God. I was like my mouth was open. Why would y'all do this to us? Okay.
Right in front of my salad.
Literally.
Right in front of my salad.
That's how I felt.
That's exactly how I felt. But he's giving this, but this is once again Patty Constantine. He killed this role so much tonight. So he's like, takes off his mask or whatever, lost eye, extremely haggard, no skin over the jaw, and he goes, "My own face is no longer a handsome one, if indeed it ever was." And Alicent's looking like, I mean, yeah, I was fucking that a lot, guys. It was tough on me too. But tonight I wish you to see me as I am. Not just a king, but your father, your brother, your husband, and your grandsire, who may not, as it seems, walk for much longer among you. Wheeze, ha, cough. Let us no longer hold ill feelings in our heart. The crown cannot stand strong in the house if the house of the dragon remains divided. Set aside your grievances, if not for the sake of the crown, then for the sake of this old man who loves you all so dearly. And he slumps down in his chair. And listen, that's when I realized, you know what Viserys is? Big Mama. Big Mom. That's Big Mama. Because when Big Mama's gone, the family loses something. You know what I mean? Like, it's no longer going to be connected in that way. People can't put aside their differences because of the universal love that is held for everybody.
Right.
He lost his arm to the diabetes, so that's very much like Big Mama from Soul Food. And yeah, I'm gonna miss him. The way they introduced us to him was so smart, because they gave us the death of Aemma and his role in it, of his wife. Mm-hmm. And from that point on, he's been a really consistent good king as far as making the decision that makes you feel the best. Like, I'm not saying good.
And it's almost like family first.
Yes. Yeah. And you can understand where he's coming from, because it's very much every episode to me is him, Ben Affleck with the cigarette. Like, oh, these niggas, if they would just do what I say, we'd be fine. But why the fuck can't they get along?
Right.
That's his whole vibe. And that to me was such a neat part of this character. And so when he's gone, it's a fucking wrap. None of these people are able to get above themselves or their egos for even a moment, unless he's involved, and then they'll go, okay. And no matter what, they all have a connection to him that is genuine.
Right. Once that connection breaks, everybody, and like in real life, everybody drifts off once that person leaves. You stop having family dinners, you stop having fish fries, you stop having family unions. And I don't know, over the centuries, it's happened to over the decades, it's happened to a lot of people. And a lot of people can tell, you know, you have generations of cousins and friends I mean, cousins and family members don't even know each other because nobody actually gets to meet like that anymore.
Yeah,
rare.
even if you don't like each other,
right.
every character has a genuine relationship with Viserys, and you can go down the line and see it. Otto Hightower's relationship with Viserys, the biggest thing he did was tell him the truth, and Viserys couldn't accept it. But now apparently he's back, and Alicent, of course, doesn't like Rhaenyra, but she still ends up putting those blankets over fucking Viserys every time he sits down and making sure he has his juice, honey, and all that shit. Like, he's the only fucking thing holding the family together. And I thought they just did a great job of like illustrating that, especially this episode. Because to me, there's no way you watch this episode and don't walk away like, dog, when it's over for them,
it's like all hell gonna break loose.
Dog, what? This man is it. Y'all can't be serious. None of y'all are high-minded. None of y'all focus on the bigger goals in that way. And if you do, you focus on it in a way where you like, oh, I'm not trying to like believe in all this family shit.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I believe in the crown. I believe in the bigger picture, but I will kill my motherfucking family to get to it. It's like, oh damn, y'all almost had it. Y'all all so close, Amon. But he's the one probably with the big eyes on the bigger picture. Everybody else is Aegon, rapey as fuck, and not a serious person or serious ruler. Doesn't take his vows seriously, any of this shit. Rhaenyra had fucking 3 bastard kids, like right out the box. 3. Joffrey too. Joffrey's the little one. We didn't see Joffrey much this episode.
Oh, that's right. The baby one. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yes.
When she was so she has 2 other babies younger than Joffrey now.
Okay.
But that one Joffrey we saw
was the one
when Jace was doing High Valerian, Joffrey was with the nanny in the back.
Okay, I'm with you. Okay.
Yeah. So, but the point being, this is not.
Yeah, those are 3 whole ass children.
Yeah,
right?
like you had 3 bastard babies. Like you didn't take it seriously either, even if it was just on a completely cynical, like I need to do this for the crown. You didn't even want to do that shit.
Yeah, you didn't even want to play the game.
So, no one's really taking it as seriously as they're supposed to take it, and I think, it's starting to fucking show. So he gives this speech or whatever, and now they're taking the cues. Ray stands up and toasts Alicent. I wish to raise my cup to her grace, the queen. I love my father, but I must admit that no one has stood more loyally by his side than his good wife. And she's right, because she kept dipping. Like, even if she wanted to crown, whatever, when shit got tough, Rhaenyra went like, I'm going Dragonstone. Fuck it.
Yeah, she didn't stay.
Yeah.
She didn't stay and fight, which means not your fighting. If you were serious, you would have stayed, and you would have never allowed her to take reign like that.
And of course, you let Alicent govern. Like Alicent and Otto probably been governing for at least 6 years at this point, and taking major roles in shit that if you had been there, you probably could have either fought them or kept them out of it as much. But now they run the day-to-day decisions in a way that you just abdicated, right? And of course, she has taken care of this deteriorating of this old man. Like, anyone else would have put a fucking pillow over this man's face years ago and be like, I'm the queen now, I'm the captain, look at me, I'm the queen, look at me. And no, she fucking is letting this man live out his life and all that shit. So she gives her props to a certain bit, a certain amount. And she says she has attended to him with unfailing devotion, love, and honor, and for that she has my gratitude and my apology. I'm like, oh my God, is this happening? Is this happening? Because this is going to be even more tragic, because there's no way the show is everyone's going to get along, kumbaya, and family hug like the end of Family Matters. But for this second,
everyone falls.
I said, are they remembering they used to be friends? Are they getting back? What is this? And then Alicent goes, your graciousness moves me deeply, princess. We are both mothers and we love our children.
Yeah, and I think for Rhaenyra, once she become a mom, she more understood and began to have more children. She understood her love for her children. Before, you know, Alicent was having kids and Rhaenyra was not. So it was kind of, you're just popping out these babies, but it's different when they're yours.
Well, also, this is like the thing Hillary Clinton said when she was asked to say something nice about Trump. So, like, it's not the nicest thing you can say, but it's like when you don't fuck with somebody, this is about all you can do. It like, we both love our kids. She says we have more in common than we sometimes allow. This bud's for you and your house, Targaryen. You will make a fine queen. So now she's like, you gonna be the queen. You know, like this makes it all so much more tragic, is all I'm saying. And then everybody starts grabbing their wine and they toasting, and Aegon tells Baela, I regret the disappointment you're about to suffer, because he's still being a dick. Even after everybody was nice to each other, Alicent's badass fucking kids, man, can't help himself. Mr. Rapey himself is, I regret you're about to get this disappointment, but if you ever need some real dick, holla at your boy. And then Jace slams his hand on the table and stands up. And then low-key, Aemon stood up too.
He did.
Like,
he'd been watching him the whole time.
Listen, he been trying to solve that eye equation. He's like, oh, is it my time to get my eye? Okay, let's see how this plays out. But Jace calms down, even puts his hand on Aegon's shoulder and says, I want to toast Aegon and Aemon. I want to toast to their health. And Aegon says, to you as well. And then Aemon looks a little disappointed and sits down. It's like, fuck, I was hoping to kill somebody. And then Helena says, beware the beast beneath the boards, which must be some type of prophecy. I don't know what it is yet.
It means something.
We'll be coming back to this, I'm sure, at some point. Like, oh, the beast beneath the boards was blank. But I don't know what it is.
Somebody up underneath the boards.
Yeah. So then Viserys says to Jace, well done, my boy. Good job with that toast. So proud of you. And then Helena does a toast to Baela and Rhaena, but she's drunk. And even though she just did the prophecy, she is now shitting on Aegon. And she is like, you'll be married soon. It isn't so bad. He mostly just ignores you. Except sometimes when he's drunk. And then she like sits down. And Viserys is like, oh, how about some music then?
She was like, yeah, I'm married, but it don't mean shit.
Yeah, like DJ play some of that jam for us. Y'all know how we get down. Come on now, it's a party. So then they start fucking dancing, and they doing like TikTok jump around dances because Jace goes and gets Helena while looking directly in the motherfucking Aegon's face, like, I'm about to dance with your wife. Right. Since your punk ass, you talked all that shit, don't like you satisfying your wife, nigga.
Right.
But they don't dance all sexy. They
dance like they 10.
Yeah, they do like funky chicken and like Macarena.
Yeah, they dance like when you get a bunch of 5-year-olds out there just bopping around.
There's a lot of like, put your left hand in, you put your right hand out. There's a lot of that type of dancing. And then everyone starts eating and chuckling and doing the funky chicken.
I was like, oh, this is a beautiful montage. I was like, I don't know how long this is gonna last, but I'm in the moment.
I looked at that run time. I said, nope, too long. Something bad about to happen.
I didn't pay no
attention. Not on Thrones, baby. We don't end no happy endings.
We don't end no happy endings.
And then Ray and Alicent smile at the king, and he takes it all in like James Earl Jones and Coming to America too. And eventually, he's so tired. He's yawning and moaning, like, oh, reaching for his eye and grabbing at his head. Is like, okay, baby, let's get him some milk at a poppy. Okay, it's time.
The time is dinner's over. And the thing is, he didn't eat nothing.
Right. He did drink some wine though.
Yeah, he did.
The servants bring in a roasted pig, and this, I understand, Luke, what happened, and I stand in solidarity with all my people like Luke in the world, because they set that pig in front of Aemon, and Luke started laughing, And it had to be because they gave this nigga a pig dragon when they was kids.
But the people wouldn't have known that.
I know, but
Right.
Luke and Aemon know.
Right.
And Aemon seen Luke laughing, and it's like Luke couldn't stop himself. I'm one of these where it's just like it's too funny. Fuck. And now that you know what I'm laughing, now it's even more awkward and funny. And now I'm really laughing, and it's getting worse. I don't want to pick on you, but come on, nigga, that is funny.
Right.
You got the biggest dragon, but Aemon never got over getting picked on as a kid. And so Aemon slams his hand on the table, stands up. He's like, I'm going to give the last toast. A final tribute to the health of my nephews, Jace, Luke, and Joffrey. Each of them handsome, wise, and you can see everybody like, don't say it. Don't say it. And strong. And he's like, and everybody's like, I think Alicent's like, Aemon. He's like, come, let us drain our cups to these 3 strong boys. And then Jason's like, say that shit one more motherfucking time, nigga. And then it was like, why? Was only a compliment. Do you not think yourself strong? And then Jace punched him, but Aegon, he ate that shit, man. He built different.
I said that's what I was about to say. He built us something different.
He built different, man.
He was like, I was born for this. Y'all are fucking around. I am actually here to win shit.
Right. And so we get, it's not even really a fight because like they start like the security come and break it up. They grab, of course, not Aemon and Aegon. They grab the Rhaenyra's boys,
of course,
and pull them to the back. And finally Alicent comes over to Aemon like, what the fuck are you doing? Why would you say that in front of all these people? And he's like, I was merely expressing how proud I am of our family, mother. Though it seems my nephews are not quite as proud of theirs. And Daemon and Ray make the kids go to bed, and then Aegon stares at Daemon and then leaves, and then Daemon leaves.
Yeah, because he looked at him like, who else want to fuck with Hollywood Cole? He was like, you know what? You fuck with me, we gonna have some problems, sir.
Yeah, I don't think he wanted with Daemon just yet.
He don't.
Like,
he might one day, but right now he go, nah.
Daemon's reputation definitely precedes him.
Yeah,
but one thing I like about Daemon, he didn't seem offended for them kids. He seemed it more like, hey, man,
right?
Come on,
right? This is inconvenient now.
Come on, man.
Right, you caused me to stand up for no reason. Shit, leave him alone.
So then Daemon leaves, and so does Aemon and all the kids and stuff. And Ray says, you know what? It's probably best for us to just go back home. And Alice is like, stay longer. It's like we just barely getting to talk. It's been so long. And Ray was like, you know what? I'll return on Dragonback.
And I was thinking, you might not want to do that.
And Alicent says the king and her would like that. And once again, y'all, I was so...
Everyone falls in love sometimes.
Finally, like, oh, my girl's about to get along again. Is it possible? I ain't read them books. I don't know. Maybe they made the show different than y'all's books. I said, finally, maybe they can be friends. You know, figure this shit out. And later that night, we see Mysaria dressed in white, because I think she's the White Worm.
Mm-hmm.
And she gets word. Remember when I told y'all, remember that woman? Talia.
Yes, it was talking with the queen. Right. And she came and...
She was the one with the tea.
Yeah.
The abortion tea.
Right. So when she came to her, she was like, oh, something happened. And I was like, oh, so all that shit is about to get out into the populace.
Yes. And Tyler is like, listen, while I'm here, there's a lot of shit going on in the castle. And I got video of Daemon Green killing somebody.
Everything.
Put it on TMZ.
Probably told her that nigga died. Probably told about raping. Like told everything.
She know everything. So we know that that's gonna be a problem. In bed, Viserys at night. This is the last scene. He's struggling with the pain. Alicent brings him a hot toddy, and then he says, "I'm sorry. I am sorry. But you wanted to know." And she's like, "No, what?" He's like, "If I believe it to be true. Don't you remember?" She's like, "What? What the fuck are you talking about?" He's like, "Aegon." She's like, "Our son? No, his dream. The sacrifice. If it's true. What we saw in the north. The prince that was promised." And she's like, "I don't know what the fuck you are talking about." You know?
Yeah, she was completely lost. And as she was talking, I was like, he only told his wife and he only told Rhaenyra.
Right. He never told Alicent.
Never. So
Yeah.
that's why she was like, what are you talking about?
I hate to say it. I hope I don't sound ridiculous. I don't know who this man is. I mean, he could be walking down the street. I wouldn't know a thing. Sorry to this man.
Yeah, because I was like, she
Talking
wouldn't.
to the mic.
I was like, she wouldn't know any of that. Like, these are like secrets that you kind of passed down that you didn't, quote unquote, want to get out. So, like I say, with him being in the condition that he was, I think he thought he was talking to Rhaenyra.
He definitely thought he was, because he ain't never told Alicent that shit. And of course, Alicent, not knowing what he was talking about, the ravings, rantings of a man who's about to die or whatever.
Right.
She's just trying to figure it out, and not even in a malicious way. I actually love the way they wrote this. It's very Shakespearean, very much a tragedy of genuine misunderstanding. But Alicent is like, "What, Aegon? Are you talking about our son?" And he's like, she says, "I don't understand this." He goes, "The prince." She goes, "Prince Aegon again?" And he says, "To unite the realm against the cold and the dark, it is you. You are the one." He wheezed cough. "You must do this. You must do this." And then she rubs his one good cheek. And then gets up to blow out the candle and says, "I understand, my king."
And I was like, oh no.
Fam.
I was like, yeah.
She about to put Rapey McRapington on the motherfucking throne.
I was like, and when Rhaenyra fly ass back there, the energy and the energy
it's gonna be different,
right? And that's why when she said she's gonna come back, I was like, I wouldn't come back by myself.
I love that they wrote it in a way where it wasn't just like, and then Alicent went evil, quote unquote.
She didn't.
She really think that's what she's supposed to do, and low-key, she just wants to do it. Like, it's finally like, I got the permission.
And this was validation
to
right?
take this shit. That's definitely what's about to happen. She is like because she could have told Rhaenyra, like, he told me something about a prophecy, and Rhaenyra would be like, "Yeah, this is the prophecy of fire and ice or whatever. You can't take the throne. It's for me." It don't matter. She convinced that she want to believe it. And then
right, because both of them have a son named Aegon.
Yes, but he's actually talking about his ancestor Aegon.
Right.
Rhaenyra knows that.
Yeah.
He's talking about, that's why they name everybody Aegon, because of and this is the fucking this is the disadvantage to naming everybody the same fucking thing.
Right.
Anyway, so this is the best acting part, because we get Patty as the king, and he's breathing all, like
you can hear the machine.
Yes.
Like you
Yes.
can literally hear the machine kind of beeping behind him.
And we get a flash of the dagger that's next to his nightstand, the dagger that has the prophecy on it. And he reaches out into like the darkness and said, and as if he's seeing something or reaching for someone, and then he says, "My love, I'm dead." And then he dies and the screen goes black.
It wouldn't be surprised if that was his wife.
I think he was reaching out for Aemma. I don't think he ever stopped loving Aemma. I think and I saw Pat, the actor, on his Instagram, posted about how the way that character came to life for him, is who really grounded it, was the actress that played the wife, Aemma. She was only there for a few days, as opposed to, he was there for 8 episodes and she was only in 1. And he said it was her that made the character come to life. And he said the thing about him is he always felt bad about what he did to his wife. And that is why the character of Viserys never really questioned his injury, his sickness. He never really tried to get the Maesters to find a cure for it, to experiment or anything, because he saw it as like a penance and a punishment. And from the day that he made that decision, that Viserys had died.
Yeah,
I was like, damn. And it made
I could see that.
You can see it with the acting,
because he was very distraught because he ended up losing his wife, he ended up losing his child, and that impacted him because, like you said, he loved his wife very, very, very dearly.
So beautiful.
And so I can completely
So
see
good.
that, because one of the maesters, probably like a junior maester, was like, hey, we got this new. They was like, nope.
All right, no bail, but I mean, who pay attention? What's up next week, Karen? What you looking forward to?
Oh, all hell about to break loose because that nigga dead.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's nothing keeping none of them tied together. And I don't know if we're gonna see Rhaenyra come back, but the energy that she left, when she come back, it ain't gonna be the same.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll see a funeral for him. Cause every time these motherfuckers get together, I don't know, they might do a time jump or they may show us the funeral.
Yeah, we're gonna have another funeral. But you know what?
Okay.
One thing, my prediction, and one thing also is or either they're gonna do the time skip. Either we're gonna see a funeral or they're gonna do a time skip. One of the two.
Yeah, because I could see them feeling like we just did a funeral. But whatever happens, the only thing I care about is we are now, everyone's sided up. Like when I was so excited when I saw that preview, and you see Sir Kristen next to Alicent, next to Otto, and then you look at Daemon and Rhaenyra and her kids and shit, and and Aemon and Aegon. I said, yes, let's fucking go. It's time for the war. This nigga dead. You knew the national anthem was playing. The game has begun, and I can't wait to see what happens next week. 2 more episodes left. Thanks for listening, everybody. We appreciate y'all. Hopefully one of these episodes ain't nothing but a long ass fight, so I don't have to be here for 2 hours.
But a long ass fight.
But I want to do a good job, man. It's a lot of work making these notes and these jokes. All right, y'all. We'll talk to y'all next time. Until then, I love you.
I love you too.
Mwah.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, y'all. Have a good